This week, as my colleague from New Hampshire has already stated, we're starting work on the federal budget, even as we are implementing the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. Both of these actions could either confirm the claims of critics, those skeptics who always say that Washington simply is not capable of managing the taxpayer money, or it could present us with a tailor-made opportunity to demonstrate that we can combine bold action with innovation and transparency as we work to get our economy and our country back on the right path. In the near term, the targeted investments included in the Recovery Act, or the so-called stimulus, are designed to create millions of new jobs. The President's budget proposals, if they are enacted, will allow us to make longer-term investments through the expanded use of new areas like electronic health records, the build-out of the smart grid, and through energy-saving improvements for millions of homes and businesses. Now, I don't think the American people are expecting overnight miracles, but at the very least, they can and they should expect competence. So we must put in place the people with the right skills and insist on appropriate measurements, and then demand transparency and accountability. For example, most of us agree that expanding high-speed internet broadband to rural communities will create jobs. It will allow folks in every region across our nation to also have an opportunity to compete and win in the global economy. And obviously, as we roll out broadband, we will track our progress by noting how many communities are served and additional internet connections. But what if we also came up with a way to capture information about how many rural businesses were able to launch or grow because of this expanded access to broadband? That information would allow us to measure the true value of broadband to the longer-term economic viability of our rural communities. In short, I believe every level of government should go the extra mile in laying out exactly how the federal dollars are being spent, and we should honestly measure and freely disclose program outcomes. I also think as we roll out these major expenditures, it's a good idea to link disbursements with predetermined timelines and checkpoints to better track program outcomes. Let's not wait until all the money's spent before we determine whether the program has been working. Consequently, if we don't see progress, we could actually delay or defer future payments. In addition, federal and state governments also should be encouraged to reach outside their comfort zones and challenge individuals in the private sector who might step up and provide specialized expertise. Again, within the Recovery and Reinvestment Act, we are going to be ramping up a series of important new initiatives under a very short timeline. How do we get the expertise from the private sector into this effort? For example, this could be part of the Service America Act, an act that we will be considering and voting on this week, which obviously promotes and expands public service opportunities for our citizens. We've got to make sure that we draw upon the best and the brightest to get them into government service, even if it's on a part-time basis, as we ramp up these new initiatives. For example, I'm talking about men and women with proven management capabilities, individuals who can move with the speed of venture capitalists to embrace new ideas around weatherization, new ideas around energy, new ideas around healthcare IT. Or could we draw upon recently retired military leaders who've proven results in successfully overseeing relief efforts? This is the type of expertise that we need to draw in if we're going to ramp up these programs successfully. In the short term, creating an expectation of transparency and accountability will maximize our bang for the buck as we continue to implement the Recovery Act. And if we do it smart with the Recovery Act, it'll set a framework for our longer-term focus. And a genuine commitment to fiscal responsibility will demonstrate that Washington can, in fact, act with both competence and restraint when it comes to spending the taxpayers' money.